and welcome to another edition of KidNews 22, coming to you from Orleans Elementary School. I'm Evelyn Muto.
And I'm William Newman. Our broadcast today will include a story about nature-inspired poetry, a special interview with third grader Parker Mawkey,
And Willie's drumming up some fun facts that you just can't beat. Oh, and we have a special guest in the studio with us.
Who is it?
It's Stanley Lamtrop from Mrs. Belcran's second grade class at Westbrook Elementary School in Florida.
You mean Flat Stanley? Wow, he's famous. He even has a book written about him.
I know. Welcome, Flat Stanley. And now on to Cora with our first story.
Fifth grade students at Orleans Elementary School are working with the Orleans Conservation Trust on an ongoing project to highlight the many beautiful trails in town. After visiting some of these trails, the kids created writings and artwork to reflect on their feelings about the experience. Then, our teachers made a slideshow of all our work. After that, they linked the slideshow to QR codes, which are located on the signs at the trails. And now, here's a poem I wrote about Pawa Point. I feel as that if the ocean could tell us something, it would say something like this. The Eye of the Ocean by Cora Georges. I cry because I cannot stand like the people do. For I have the eye of the ocean, and I only make one sound, the roaring of my wave going towards the people that stand on the sand and watch me. Then I cry because I cannot stand like the people do. For you have the eye of the people, and I have the eye of the ocean.
Thank you, Cora. For other inspiring examples from students, look for those QR codes at all the trailheads in town.
In our next story, Grace Monkey takes us back in time with the help from her brother Parker.
In Massachusetts, third graders learn about the history of our state. Part of that learning is a field trip to Plimoth, Patuxit. Plimoth, Patuxit is a museum where you can learn about what it was like to live back in the 1600s with the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Native Americans. You can see what they dressed like back then, how they cooked meals, and you can even ask them questions. My brother Parker went on this field trip, so stay tuned to hear all about it.
Hi, Parker.
Hi, Grace.
So, when you went with your class to Plimoth, Patuxit, what was your first impression of the place?
My first impression was it wasn't like a normal museum. There wasn't pictures on the wall or facts. It was like you were reliving the 1600s.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. And when you went in the house, what was it like?
There was no electricity. There was no running water. There was no kitchen. They had to cook under the fireplace.
What was the furniture like?
It wasn't like a normal comforter. It was either made out of like straw, horsehair, and all of that stuff.
I wouldn't want to go on that.
Me either.
Was there like any baby cribs? Because they probably didn't get their own king-size mattress.
No, there was a baby crib, and I actually went inside of the baby crib.
And that was the Pilgrim's house, but the Wampanoags, they have a different type of house, right? What are those called?
They're called Weetus.
Did you guys get to go inside of those?
Yes.
That's awesome. What was it like inside of there?
It was very different than a normal house because it wasn't made out of brick and paint. It was just made out of bark of wood, string, and leaves.
And if they didn't have cars back then, what did they travel on?
In the water, they would travel on machines.
Is that like a type of canoe or something?
Yes.
That's awesome. And they did a lot of chores like garden work. Did you get to see the garden?
Yeah, we got to pick from it, actually.
Really? And obviously they did a lot of chores. Did they do any games in their free time?
Yeah, they had something like tic-tac-toe, but you had to make 4 in a row.
That's so cool. Thank you for your time, Parker.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Grace and Parker. I remember that trip being a great way to bring history to life in a fun way.
Will is up next with some information from the percussion section of the band, and we are just confident that he will stick to just the right facts.
Hello, I'm William Newman, and in band class once a week, I play percussion. Percussion includes any instrument that is hit or banged to make sound. Although we mainly focus on the snare and bass drums, we also play the cymbal, triangle, and many other instruments. First, we learned how the sticks are held. A good rule of thumb is to try to hold them about 2 inches up. After that, we did techniques to hit the drum and stop it after 1 stroke. 1 stroke is called a quarter note. The quarter notes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then we did eighth notes. Then we did 16th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The most important thing we then learned was double strokes. Double strokes are played by hitting the drum 2 times in 1 downward motion. We learned this by first letting the stick just bounce on the drum. Then we tried stopping the stick after only 2 or 3 strokes. As well as learning quarter, eighth, and 16th notes, we learned paradiddles. You play this complex rudiment by hitting your sticks in a right, left, right order. After you do that, you go left, left, and then repeat that a number of times. When you practice enough, you get really good and might even master them. In conclusion, still, we are learning to play things like with our hands and feet at the same time. We are also incorporating loud and soft notes into our music. Now, here's a little bit of drum that you might know from some.
Hey Evie.
Yeah.
Once I made a chemistry joke. It didn't get much of a reaction.
Well, this time you did get a reaction.
I guess so.
What did the tree say when the spring arrived?
I don't know.
What a relief!
What do you call a fly that doesn't have wings?
I don't know.
A walk.
Why did the fish blush?
I don't know.
Because it saw the ocean's bottom.
Okay, what do you call a fake noodle?
I don't know.
An impasta.
Thank you for joining us today. You too, Stanley.
We leave you with student creations from a recent art show at Orleans Elementary School.
A special thank you to our amazing art teacher, Mrs. Daly, for all her hard work.
Join us again next time for another edition of Kid News 22. I'm Evelyn Muto.
And I'm William Newman. Bye for now.